habits that you need to break yourself of if you want to speculate.
Get right back to
Now, if we take a look
ineffective speculators. Another thing they do, they buy keep stuff. I'm back, and I got 5 more bad habits that you need to break yourself of if you want to speculate like a pro. Let's get right back to ineffective speculators. Another thing they do, they buy cheap stocks because they assume everything.
Natural gas, those are not specific, right? You're not to say those are natural resources. So with everybody, and you now have the bank
essentially between
England, America,
1914
Chinese,
and
apparently
1920,
loosening up everybody is now loosening the money supply, printing money.
Hi, I'm Max Kaiser. This is the Kaiser Report.
Jim and Andrew. We also had a relatively low discount interest rate where banks borrow from the federal government. It was a lot more important back in the
shortages of nearly all commodities developing, and I'm going to make money in the commodities. If the economy does get better, it's going to print a lot more money. Place to be, and we all have
I was just saying, I told you, this has been happening for weeks. All we do is search stuff for it. And we use several different search engines, but start pages stuff just proxies. And if someone in the world is watching us, we hope technicians watching us, learning that they're being listened, fixing our searches, documents saying they're killing us. Of course they can't have me on air dominant. And I'm dominating all of the web now. We're being censored everywhere.
Everything in the world
I have confirmed, and people are
maybe the US dollar will go up initially, but probably everything would be hit in the shock that made it worse. So I own gold. I'm not selling my gold.
The crash of Lehman Brothers. It was a discussion on my side of former chancellor.
And what the Fed is doing is simply guaranteeing that
most people don't understand
the 0% interest rates prevent.
And perhaps you know Venus Project, you know the Revolt Charter organization, you know perhaps the books and the stories of Gene Roddenberry, Star Trek, where we live in the world about money. I can tell you it is possible. But the problem we are facing is how can we get there? And all that we have to know is it happens in our minds. We have to push the right switches, and then we will find the path.
Okay, hello to another FM Signals info show video edition. My name is Lildar Megalch from Good Old Germany, and you're welcome to our Friday edition with a review of our trading capabilities and outlook of one currency. Today, outlook of the US dollar. However, analyze the stuff again, it's still yours. Okay, here we've got the dollar future on an hourly chart, but let's get back to our trading capabilities of this week. By the way, here are in my English edition. Let's get started with the New Zealand dollar US dollar from Monday, and it was yes, not so good edition. Here we see I thought we will or my idea was here a slightly lower New Zealand dollar, slightly higher US dollar. So by the way, and yeah, it was a mistake. Here we see today. Here we was in the money. Here, but here we was squeezed out. What a bad decision. So forget this trading capability. Next week, another trading. Another trade, so in the US dollar, Kiwi dollar, US dollar, Canadian dollar, Japanese Yen looks also great for me. We are here now also lost our here we see here was a long capability. I saw a long capability. Here we see the upside trend technically, but last night we've got here wildly squeeze out up. Even the markets are assuming or interpreting that the BOG will intervene it or take some actions here by the Yen. So here we will see what will happen with the Yen next week. So by the way, we are here out, squeeze out, or yet now some pips out of the money. I would still take the stop here technically, here on this here on these three lines, the lines of the last week, week before, and week before also, so 1 or 3 weeks. So, and perhaps we should here next week buy Yen, but we will see what will happen next week. So yes, interesting stuff, interesting story with the Yen. So, and next week will be wildly interesting, not only about the Yen, question of course to buy the Yen, and what's up with the dollar and the euro. So our three basic currencies all around the world. Yes, big question. I don't know today. We'll make an analysis over weekend, and yeah, offering you my thoughts, my personality thoughts, of course, next week. And however, analyze the stuff again, it's still yours. Okay, here by the way, we are now out of the money, but I will still stay long here, take the stop here at these three lines, and should we fall here under 81.66, I would starting to sell Canadian dollar Yen, so buy Yen. Yes, but we will see next week. I will surely create a video about the Canadian dollar Yen next week. Okay, so pound US dollar. Oh, here we are, here we go. Yeah, I was yes, also a mistake here. I hope you take the stop around about 162 here, squeezed out today. Dollar disappointed today. That's also the reason why I'm choosing the dollar to give you to make an overview. So perhaps it's the time to sell the dollar, or for contrarians to buy it. We will see what will happen next week. So take an eye off the dollar, off the Yen and the euro next week. The three major currencies. Yes, are at the, if you want, cross rate or free rate. Yeah, take an eye off all three next week. It will be widely interesting. US dollar, same thing. Here we are. It's also a little bit in the money, and the US dollar, euro dollar is also on a big crossroad in my opinion here from technical view. So next week will quite volatile, interesting for the three majors, euro, dollar, Yen. And from this perspective, yes, what we want more as traders, it will be high volatility, high interesting. And by the way, of course, some influence policy, France elections, Greek election over next week. So yes, it will be yes, slightly wild. So all in all, I would okay, New Zealand dollar, we are out this week. Canadian dollar, Yen, I would stay long, but if we here don't forget the stops, and I would here go short next week, if or this week. Okay, today it's over, we will see what will happen. Pound dollar, new analysis. So perhaps we've got them break out to the above side. So in pound dollar, we will see next week, however. And euro dollar, we are on the crossroad here. So yes, or I've got to make new. And yes, the equities are also round about 4 years high, if I'm not wrong, the Dow. And perhaps we've got the breakout next week, or an evidence of a breakout even. Sell the dollar, buy the commodity, buy the equities. So and I'm only threatened about it. Yes, and we will see what will happen with the euro next week. Also, week before the French elections, and yes, Greek elections 1 week later. So it will be wildly interesting. So next week, all in all, analyze the stuff again. It's still yours. This week was not so successful like the week before. Here we are squeezed out in this in the US editions. So yes, analyze the stuff again. It's still yours like the week before, as we made some more pips. Okay, here we are with the euro dollar. So yes, it will be widely interesting. We see here this trading lines. So okay, good. So let's delete all trading decisions from this week, or the bad pip decision. So don't forget, so never forget the stops, by the way. So stops are very important on the short-term view. See, of course, and yes, don't forget it. So as a long-term trader or investor, by the way, you don't need stop, but in the short-term view, of course, never trade intraday or yes, 24 hours, 48 hours trades with stops, by the way. Okay, so let's come back here. Here are our 78 cross rates. So I'm choosing the US dollar, and here we are. Here we go with the US dollar 1 hourly chart. So, and we see we are on a slightly downside trend here, and we are trading around about the lows of this month. I'm painting also here some lines, and here let me explain here. We broke this month here this long-term upside trend. Very important fact in my opinion here. This upside trend is since May last year. We see here. Let's zoom a little bit here. Since May last year, the lows of May last year, we see it here. From the lows of last year, we've got here this pretty upside trend, and we broke it here last week. Or this week we've got an evidence we traded also this week lower. So that's an important technical fact in my opinion, and we will see next week what will happen. So that's the first signal. Interpret it, of course. Analyze the stuff again, is still yours. So what you do with the spec, it's yours. That's the basic first signal, first fact in my opinion. And the second one is this gray, also downside trend. So this big upside trend from May last year, from the lows last year, and here this downside trend. Here we see since December. Here we see start of the year we created all-time new highs. Here also. Here we see, and this here is this downside trend. So start of the year we broke up, then we've got here lows, then this line holds. Here we see this line holds, gave us support, so we go ahead, go up, then also try to broke it, goes also up, and here we are also falling back. So I don't think, or I can't imagine that we will ever get back to this upside trend. So we are in a new basic scenario in my opinion, and this from the lows last year May broke, and we are now here in this train channel if you want. So, and by the way, that's the second signal. So we're trading inside, and of course the question is to buy or sell. And by the way, the third is here the highs of this year. Here we see this pink line, the highs of this year, and the highs of March. So here, and we break, or we are trading also down under this. So we are in a technically slightly downside trend this year, and the main question is of course here to broke this line. So the question is, in my opinion for the US dollar for the next week will be the lows of this year are around about 78.12, of course, and that's the name of the game. So that should be, or will be in my opinion, the target. So here. So if the trend of this week continues next week, we will get it next week, or the week the over next week, and then it's the question, of course, will we fall down or up? And interesting by the point is the fact that the equities are trading round about highs. The Dow future, by the way, 4 years highs. And perhaps is this also an, how do you say in English, intermarket signal? And yes, even for or it's a start of a new cycle, or the end of a bigger cycle. That's the name of the game, or name of the game in my opinion, to put the dollar and equities in a context. But we will see next week. So I'm surprised of this fact. I don't accept it, so we will see. We need to analyze this stuff again, the markets again, and yeah, let's see how to make money next week. So I don't have an idea today, but we saw it here on the euro dollar, also on the interesting line. So by the fact, so analyze every asset, every cross rate, every asset, equity or commodity or yield for itself, and try to compare it in your own trading plan and game plan. How to say in English? Yes. Okay. That's all for the dollar today, guys. So be prepared for next week. Will be widely interesting. Once again, here the upside trend from May is broken. So bearish signal. Here the downside trend, gray. We are trading in it. Also slightly bearish. And here the downside trend from this year, high of this year and March. Here we are also trading down under. And here are the lows of this year by 78.12. So that should be the area where the dollar got to make a decision in the next week. So perhaps we will get a rebound to the downside trend here. Perhaps we will fall down and go up, or go up, fall down. It will be surely interesting. So here we see it a little bit better. Yes. So, and here are the lows of this year. So, and put this in a context, the equities, for example, the Dow is around about 4 years high. So, okay, we will see next week. Take an eye off the euro, dollar and yen next week. It will be widely interesting, and analyze the stuff again is still yours. Talking to you on Monday while watch this session. So bye bye and have a great weekend.